So, hello and welcome to another 10v10 game. This one is going to be a post-game commentary since I wasn't recording when I played this. Playing the East German 4th Matschützen division. Let's just look at what we have at the start. So, 6 Fallschirmjäger squads. Command Fallschirmjäger with Metist, and there should be a sniper here, yes. Two of these war crime recon squads, and exceptional optics BRM, SPW Conquerors, two supply MTLBs, Strela 10M, and the AA Hind. I went into this forest. As you can see, I'm the only one playing on this side of the map, and we do have this big hole in the front line that will come to bite us later. But I don't want to spoil anything. Really, you'll see for yourself. So, what I opted to do here is I took 6 Fallschirmjäger squads, 3 squads on this side, 3 squads on this side, and then each side got one of these recon squads, right? These are like recon engineers, I believe. Yeah, they don't have any anti-tank. So Fallschirmjägers have a nice anti-tank with the RPG-7, and then these guys were supposed to be like my anti-infantry support. You just look at their M16s, yeah. Feels weird to see that when you play Pact, really, but it is what it is, right? It's a war crime squad after all. Hind just being kept in the back for the time being. SPW Conquers in a nice position to defend this field, and then BRM with exceptional optics to spot stuff over this field. We have some more Iglas coming in, another sorry, another SPW Conquers to defend this field from this forest. Then we have another Strela 10 MTLB supply. As infantry slowly starts pushing towards Anna, yes. Berserk Jack was playing 11th ACR, and as you can see, he started with a bunch of helicopters. Sniper moving slowly forward into this forward position on return fire to provide some advanced recon. As you can see, I purchased quite a bit of AA. I will explain later why I opted for huge amounts of AA early on when it happens, right? I don't want to spoil nothing. So, infantry slowly keeps pushing. There is still a big hole in the front line, as you might see. Enemy infantry slowly pushing us. And here comes another Igla and another Strela 10M. So yeah, considerable amounts of anti-air coming in on this side. Infantry keeps pushing. And we are at the nice +2 in the meantime. Still no combat has been seen on my side, but I assure you that will rapidly change at some point. LRS pushing me. Now, funny thing about this LRS is there is absolutely nothing I can do to stop them, really, you know. They have exceptional optics, ground surveillance radar, and that, like, I have this thing. Awesome kill by this SPW Conquerors, really. I decided to move it immediately so it doesn't get arted, you know. He just lost that expensive recon Bradley there, and he's gonna get upset because of that, right? So he might try to arty this. Anyways, we do have a T-72 from the teammate here coming in to try and cover this part of the front line, but, you know, there is this Kova warrior in the meantime that's gonna present a problem. Also, this was T-72S, so, like, seeing it got side-shotted like this, it just hurts, honestly. Jesus Christ. That was painful to watch, really. Two more Iglas coming in as infantry keeps slowly creeping through this forest. Um, you could see that I ordered them to get to these positions instead of pushing into the sector itself. Um, thing with that is the fact that yeah, these guys can actually cover this road nicely. But yeah, if I push directly into here without securing this, it's just gonna be a grind, infantry grind, which I really, I mean, I can sustain a prolonged infantry fight with this division, but should I? I mean, do I want to? If I can afford to cut off enemy reinforcements route. In the meantime, funny recon tank rushed on this side will be promptly stopped by a bunch of helicopters. Yeah, that's what you get when you try to rush the flanks without any anti-air. Really, bunch of Humvees dead, recon tanks, recon helicopters, everything. As I was saying though, um, do I want to really, sustain a prolonged infantry fight in this area if I can just, get my squads to these positions and then, like, this is the reinforcements route, like, so is this, and so is this. So if you manage to cut off these roads, or rather just these intersections, maybe even these, right, then enemy will really struggle. And that's part of the reason why I decided to buy so much AA, since if you set up an ambush here and hit enemy column coming from this road, they're gonna get upset and they will send a helicopter to check this out. So it's handy to have a Igla or Strela there to defend your super cool Fallschirmjägers from enemy air support. If that makes sense, right? More Fallschirmjäger metas coming on this side. We have a sniper arriving here. BRM died in the meantime. That's what we missed. Died to this Kiowa warrior. That Hellfire really do be scary sometimes, especially against these light vehicles. So, Kub, one of the Kubs arrived. Another sniper coming in. We are slowly approaching our objective here. And command squad is staying close to this side so we can eventually enter this corner of the sector and contest, right? Now, problem for me at this moment is the fact that I can't see the LRS with the sniper, so I was forced to move forwards. Try to spot them. There it is. The thing is, they have M21 and a machine gun, so my guys were not properly microed, so they weren't even in the cover, right? And they will lose against LRS because of that. Almost no damage has been done. M1A1 ACAV coming in. Fixed that. But their missile is off. Missed us, sadly. We have an infantry fight starting here. In the meantime, Fallschirmjäger and these Special Forces recon engaging the Jager squads, as these guys are nicely set up to stop enemy reinforcements. Also, this squad doesn't have an anti-tank launcher, like I said, so it took some time to deal with the Ultist. And we have a anti-tank recon squad now, pushing alongside the Metis this way. So there it is. There is the example why you need A when you're trying to when you're trying to do some sneaky stuff like this, right? They're usually gonna respond with aircraft or helicopters. Also, bunch of units waiting in the back here. And while this infantry fight is happening here, you could notice that this gap in the front line is really becoming a problem. I mean, SPW Conquerors just died here, so that will hurt in a few minutes. Like the fact that there is no defense there, absolutely. When the infantry fight continues, my guys are in cover, his guys are not. And these are special forces, these are just regular infantry, not even upvetted. So yeah, goes as well as you might expect for the West German guys. Also, reinforcements coming in will be promptly blown up by Fallschirmjägers with RPGs. There you go. Just a nice, friendly neighborhood ambush, right? So, after that ambush, I immediately need to move my squads, resupply their RPGs, and they could get RT'd, so it's always nice to keep your units on the move when you do something like this. Iglas arriving, second cub comes in. Again, special forces dealing with some more enemy infantry. Allow 1 shows up. On this side, more recon coming in. And you have some more reinforcements really, so more recon and then bunch of supply. And I was about to say, the plan with these Fallschirmjäger Metis was that I'm gonna put them either here or like in this building or somewhere here, and then with their I forgot the range, but they could cover like this or this or this road and cut off the reinforcements. Also, bunch of Laos are gonna dislodge my special forces squad. Super Waffle or Mega Waffle, sorry, goes down. Anti-tank aircraft purchased in the meantime. This anti-tank aircraft was a panic purchase when I figured like there is nothing there, right? So this was a bit scary. I mean, this guy was trying to help, I guess, but this was my vital reinforcements and supply route here. Um, and yeah, it's looking pretty exposed, as you could see. Allow 1A1. Falschmager keep moving. These guys actually with the Metis. And these guys have resupplied their RPGs, so they are gonna be pushing forwards. Two more Metis squads moving forward so we can hit vehicles on these roads, like I said. And a third cub, or this might be the second one. Yeah, the second cub goes forward. Two artillery pieces purchased here. Reason for that was that I noticed a bunch of stationary Lao once, so I had a recon here, right, for the corrected shot, and I wanted to use these two Akatayas really to hit these Laos one by one. So if we spot some stuff, enemy infantry, for example, in these buildings or like tanks stationary like this one, we can just delete them with artillery and support our infantry. Only problem is the fact that these guys are arriving by this route, so you'll see in a moment why that's bad. LRS keeps pushing. I mean, remember LRS is like a super scary recon squad. They get the ground surveillance thing, and now if they get stationary here, they will spot all of this. Artillery comes in slowly. There is an Alouette coming in as a response to all this infantry push in the forest. But let's just keep an eye on this quickly. So you get the idea why this was a problem, right? More SPW Conquerors command unit coming in. M1, A1, sorry, ACAD. Sideshots the Kataya. One of them. Second one goes down. SPW Conquerors launchers try engaging. I wasn't paying attention to this when this was happening, so yeah, bunch of stuff I died really, which was a big shame, right? And this SPW Conquest was supposed to buff these cubs really. And as you can see, a few aircraft flew over the cubs. They fired, and luckily I moved them in time. Like that was a really close Lars barrage. Could have wiped out a bunch of stuff, but yeah, M1, M1, A1, sorry, ACAV. He's just gonna keep feeding on my reinforcements here for the time being. And this gets captured by the enemy again, since I was forced to retreat the Fallschirmjäger command squad. Here Alouette was dealt with. Again, that's why I purchased a bunch of AA early on. I was kind of expecting to end up being cut off at one point, since, you know, this was really dire from the start of the game. But we are not controlling the sector, but our Farsimagar units are controlling, like, basically the entire reinforcements route here, except this road, this main road here. Also, if your enemy is arting you, and his arty is closer to the front line than your units, you know something is wrong, you know. Some shenanigans are happening in their backline, right? But since we lost the Tiwakatsayas here, I am right now unable to hit these levels, and that's a problem. I mean, I have nothing to kill them with except these Metis launchers. But these are kind of busy holding these reinforcements routes, right? So on this side, so seed goes down, another seed manages to escape. I'm not sure why neither of these tornadoes fired at the cubs. I mean, like, there's two cubs here. Not sure what was stopping them from firing, but it is what it is. Huge moment is about to happen here, as my single Fallschirmjäger meta squad is holding this side, and just look at these chats now. So, one side shot. Keep in mind, this is like one infantry squad against two tanks, and they get stunned roasted. So, yeah, a rough fight, but these are absolute chats. One loud goes down. And then I was forced to retreat apparently. Alright. Lars misses, or doesn't, since there is a Hind here that landed. More recon coming in from the enemy, trying to deal with all this stuff. Igla is gonna go down against these two, look. I mean, they will just shred infantry. Not before they blow up the enemy helicopter transports with the infantry inside. So, Americans keep pushing us here. High explosive bombing run. There was, like, I think a Bradley or a tank in this position, I'm not sure. And I was just trying to, you know, trying to barely fight back here. But, you know, didn't work. Didn't work well. Also, one of these recon things goes down. Not sure where though. And again, like these Metis launchers, look at this. This guy just hates me at this point. So, AA helicopters, that's a weird purchase, honestly. Command Leo gets side-shotted by the Metis launcher. They'll escape, I think. Let's check this out. Or not, that's blown up promptly. Good stuff, good stuff. And that causes him to surrender. Funny, really funny. So command unit getting in here now. I mean, There was this SPW Conquerors, but no joy. Was in a weird position. I wasn't paying attention to this side. I was microing this. So yeah. So supply gets blown up. ATGM helicopter, recon helicopter here. Allow 283 coming in. He'll get sideshotted by this RPG. Nicely. And there comes the Lars, by the way. So once I spotted this Lars, also this was a big capture really. This is like a 2000 supply unit. So this was like 1K supply or even more. Metis engaging the Lars. Artillery missed us, sadly. And there is another one. Oh, there it goes. I was trying to micro them to hit this one. But there was like 3 tanks here, so yeah. No joy there, and the gap part is gonna shred my infantry really. While that's happening, Americans are just gonna keep pushing us here badly. But we are at +8, I mean +5 now, since we did lose the sector. So anti-tank aircraft coming in, and they end up almost killing my Igla here with the anti-tank missile. That was funny. All this carnage doesn't stop in the meantime. Yeah, a bunch of flows going down. AA messing up the enemy aircraft cohesion before they arrive to the front line. This was rough. Like that was a tank, and my cubes were here. So yeah, that was very painful to witness. Like it's so hard to commit your attention to both of these sides, and at this point, all of this is basically cut off from reinforcements. Like there is this road that I could have used, but there was a nice amount of supply, nice amount of AA, although we lost 2 cubes. So we could sustain a fight here for some more time, I mean, there is like 2K supply here and then 300, 600, 600, right? There is this guy also. So as long as we could keep the RPGs resupplied, it was all fine, right? Also, another thing blows up here. Not sure what this was. Or another Lao. So another Lao here, blown up promptly. That's why I don't put tanks in the forest. Nothing good comes out of it, really. I was trying to chase this supply truck, honestly. Like, this was 2K supply and I saw it. I was like, yeah, man, I need that thing right now. Plus, Megamet is getting wrecked by the Gepard, I think, or the Pivax, not sure what that was. Luckily, I did move my infantry in time, so this Lars missed, which was good. Strela 10 moving forward. This Heinz is just chilling here in the meantime. So basically, you kill a few things in the forest, and then you move back, resupply your stuff. Enemy misses artillery. Then you get your resupplied infantry back into the fight, do some more major damage to vehicles and stuff, and repeat. That was basically the entire point of this, you could say, guerrilla warfare in the forest. In the meantime, enemy is trying to fortify these positions. They did have like a nice amount of AA here, which stopped me from using these aircraft for the most part. But still, +4, 2 minutes left on the clock. Oh, that was a fucking TOW2 vehicle, so again, huge kill. Reinforcements trying to come in. Fallschirmjäger, March to 10 SVD, 3 squads, 2 Strela 10s, and then Einsatzgruppe recon squads with the supply tank, and like I said, we can use this reinforcements route, but then you have to bring them here, and from here you need to micro them this way, right? So it's a bit micro, and it's a bit more micro intensive than your regular reinforcing route. Since if you just put them here, they come down this road and die when they get to like this point. So yeah, it was a bit difficult, but still manageable. Even though we got cut off here, we were controlling this sector, and this is their backline sector, so it gives us the +2. I mean, same thing goes here, right? Not sure why this one is +2 and then this one is +3. I mean, what's happening there? But whatever. 30 seconds left. +4. As infantry keeps fighting, Lao 283 gets side-shotted. Fliegerfaust is about to go down. Again, +1 now, so 1 minute left. They will prolong this for a bit. So yeah, we were hoping to win quickly, but no joy there, right? MTLB supply trying to resupply this Metis launcher in the meantime. As I was saying, you kill a bunch of stuff, then you need to move to not get artied, right? Because they are getting upset. I was trying to micro this Metis into this position so we can hit the artillery. Not sure how that went. I mean, this game happened a few days ago, so... And these two Hinds that dislodged this recon rush here were really forgotten about. Like, I placed them here to resupply on this guy's fob, sorry, and completely forgot about them. So yeah, there's that. Tends to happen. Again, 20 seconds left. Reinforcements are arriving. But it's not gonna end yet. They will cancel our +1, really, and yeah. We can still lose. I mean, we can't lose it. It can be a draw, really, but sucks that we had to play some more. Also, what was that? Oh, that was my MTLB. Fair enough. And there is that Lars. Still firing. I'm trying to sneak these reinforcements. Luckily, they didn't have anything here. If they had, that would have been nasty for these squads. More reinforcements coming in. So first wave was to reinforce this and provide some relief, some support for these guys, since they did amazing job in this part, right? So let's just watch this Lao 283 get blown up quickly. Nice. These guys are struggling. There's enemy armor now, retreating from this point to deal with us. Enemy infantry on this side will lose to the Fallschirmjägers at this range, because these are special forces, these are not. But I was about to say, like, this wave was supposed to reinforce this and provide relief force for these guys. This wave was supposed to get to this point, unload and counterattack this sector from the forest, since we did have a option to attack from the forest here, which is really nice for an infantry division like 4th Matschützen. Also, aircraft again flying in with the rockets gets shot down. The game just fucking froze. Eugene, please. Eugene, please. Fix your fucking freezing. But anyways, that was the example of why you need AA. If you're gonna sneak into enemy backline, enemy can just bomb you indefinitely if you don't provide enough AA for your dudes. So enemies at +4. I'm trying to cap this in the meantime to, you know, slow the bleeds. Now, the fact that they have these vehicles here is rough. These guys don't only have the law, so, you know, not much damage against Leo 283. And we slowly start getting pushed back from the forest. Which is expected, really. We are playing airborne in the airborne style. So you get there early, do some major damage, but you can't hold indefinitely as the airborne did. And look where the fighting is happening. I mean, just look where the rest of the team is, really, compared to my dudes. Also, Strela is doing a nice job. In the meantime, I was hoping to get some more cohesion of these F-16s before they arrive to the front line. So, Ultramag are retreating in the meantime. I mean, what's left of them. Trying to resupply their RPGs and heal up as this next wave of units manage to arrive here. This is contested, but still +4 for the enemy since we lost this and this. At the same time, this will slowly try counter-attacking into Feather. Yeah, Falchmaker getting picked off one by one. Enemy infantry pushing us here. Terrier Sparrows. Terrier Sparrows are actually quite good against infantry. Yeah, that was sad to watch, but we do manage to mess up its cohesion after all, so. And to shoot down a helicopter here, so still throwing punches really, even though we are getting slowly pushed back. Iglas empty, RPGs are empty, no supply. We have no fuel here. Gazelle is a problem. Gazelle is gonna just scout out all of my dudes for this Lars to nicely wreck them if not dealt with, really. So that was basically part of the plan. Even if we don't kill the aircraft, it will take enough damage and suppression so it has to turn back. And it's not going to be able to bomb my teammate here, which is absolutely nailing this counterattack into the sector. In the meantime, enemy at the +2 currently. Postmagramat is still throwing punches at the warrior roughly. They sadly missed, got bombed by the cluster, which was interesting. The cluster won't do much against infantry except they were at less than half HP already, so. And there comes another counterattack from my side. Tanks coming in. These are the same tanks that operated here and then went back this way and then came back again down this way. So yeah, these did some really well job here. Infantry fight continues, but since the fresh Matrixen arrived, Terriers stand no chance. But the game ends since we managed to take back the sector in the back. And as you can see, look at the kills. Look at the infantry kills. Look at this fucking Igla though. I'm not sure how this happened. That's interesting really, but whatever. Every Fallschirmjäger squad paid off massively. Like, I can't even complain about anything, except maybe being cut off, since no one helped for the majority of time. But still, a very good game in my opinion. Just wanted to cover it quickly. So anyways, GG's and as always, well played everyone.